Between the corn mazes, adventure trail, farm stand, and greenhouses, I meet thousands of people each year. But the more I interact with guests, the more I realize how little the general public is aware of what it actually takes to run a farm. People tend to have a romanticized view of farming, a quaint lifestyle with cute animals and all the food you can eat straight from the garden. And while it may be true to a degree, the labor-intensive process and daily struggles farmers endure just to put a cucumber into your salad is often overlooked. In order to better appreciate what it takes, we need to have a look behind the farm. The ice and snow are quickly disappearing around the farm, and signs of life in the form of fresh green vegetation are just starting to appear. But here at Collins Farm, plants have actually been growing since early February, when everything was still buried under 1.5 feet of snow. Whether tucked inside of a warm greenhouse or growing in the bay window of my parents' dining room, there is always a constant reminder of the coming spring. In spite of the conditions outside, plants still need daily care and attention. And the provider of all that care? Meet Tammy, one of the hardest working people I know, who can usually be found elbow deep in potting soil with a smile on her face. Many locals know her as the woman who grows the most beautiful flowers in the county, but I simply know her as Mom. With decades of experience, she's a walking encyclopedia of plant knowledge with a natural green thumb. And this is her busy season. Every day during this time of year, after morning barn chores, Mom faithfully heads to the greenhouse to fill pots and plant plugs. Plugs live in tiny trays of shallow soil until they're ready for bigger homes, in 6-packs for customer gardens, hanging baskets, individual pots, or custom arrangements. A fertilizer pack like these provides most of the nutrients these juvenile plants will need to thrive in their new homes. But right now, Mom's focus is mostly on planting flowers to be sold in time for Mother's Day.
It's totally flowers right now. Vegetables don't take as long, so these take the longest, and you have to start them early.
What time of the year do you start?
I start March 1st, even though I'm starting seeds in my house before that.
With the proper care and know-how, this tiny marigold plug will soon look like this. You may be wondering how long the planting process takes, and that can be difficult to truly grasp and appreciate in one short video. But I can tell you from first-hand experience that in order to have a greenhouse full of high-quality plants like my mother does, it's a sun-up-to-sundown operation, spanning from February until midsummer. Massive amounts of dirt, trays, fertilizer, water, and pruning go into every single plant until it is ready to be enjoyed by customers. It's a grueling and extensive process, but that's not where the work ends. Later in the season, when the greenhouses are empty and sold out, it'll be time to start harvesting the produce in our fields. Collins Farm grows a wide variety of produce to sell at the roadside farm stand each season, and those plants don't just fall out of the sky. The tomatoes, cucumbers, delicious sweet corn, green beans, squash, and dozens of other healthy homegrown options make up the roughly 100,000 plants that grow here each year, and all of them are in need of daily individual attention. And that's on top of the pressures of running an active dairy farm. But that's not the topic of this particular episode. It's safe to say that there's a lot of tilling, weeding, fertilizing, deadheading, watering, and picking that happens each season. Not to mention the ever-present hazard of hungry local wildlife and inclement weather to contend with. In fact, several years ago we lost our entire tomato crop due to blight, a fungus-like organism that rapidly spreads to and kills tomatoes and potatoes. So none of the labor-intensive process that this hard-working lady is undertaking right now is a sure thing. There actually is no such thing as a guaranteed harvest. But thankfully, Mom doesn't have to go it alone. Once per year, extended family shows up in force to roll up their sleeves and lend a hand with the greenhouse duties. After a day of food, laughter, and messy greenhouse productivity, the first of 3 greenhouses is almost fully planted. Personally, I am abundantly grateful that my children have had the opportunity to experience where their food comes from in a hands-on way. The satisfaction of putting in the work to grow a salad gives them a sense of pride, and you'll never see a child so excited to eat a vegetable as one they helped grow themselves. But for many, the dedication that brings a carrot to the table is often taken completely for granted. The amount of labor, cost, and experience that goes into growing multiple greenhouses and several acres of produce sadly makes farming unrealistic for many people. Thankfully, there are still farmers like my mother who are passionate about growing quality vegetables and beautiful flower arrangements. So the next time you pick up a vegetable or a flower at the farmer's market, a roadside stand, or even the supermarket, just stop for a moment and appreciate the amount of love and care that went into growing that one simple, amazing plant. Because I promise, there's a proud farmer standing behind her produce who hopes you'll appreciate it to the fullest extent as much as she does. I'm Corey Collins, and thank you for watching. Make sure you smack that follow button and stay tuned for more episodes of Behind the Farm.